Hey, it's Jessica Lorian, and real quick, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed today, especially if you just found out you're pregnant. Well, first of all, if you did, congratulations, but I know that overwhelm can be real. And even if you're a mama in training like myself, the overload of information can be a lot. Well, I gotcha. Today's episode is going to help you reframe your mind and all of the information that's going to be coming at you within the next few months. I promise. You're listening to the Mamas in Training podcast, the podcast that gives aspiring and expecting mamas guidance and community from moms who have been there. And I'm a mama in training myself. I'm not yet a mom due to an autoimmune disease, but I've made it my mission to learn everything that I can about motherhood while I'm in this time of waiting. And I do it with you so that together we can be as prepared as possible. And today I'm back with a quick Mamas in Training tip. Now this is all about the importance of drinking from the fire hose. Now, what the heck does that mean? I'll help you understand. So recently I was chatting with a dear friend who just had her first baby. And she shared with me her beautiful experience and how by drinking from the fire hose during her pregnancy, she was able to have the most beautiful birth. Now, let me back up for a second. Previously, she had planned a natural birth, like many women do. She had her birth plan, she had her ideal vision, she knew exactly who she wanted and what she wanted to happen in the room, and she was ready to go. I had chatted with her as well about the gentle C-section. And of course, she didn't plan to have a C-section, so I just asked her if she had ever heard about it. Now, if you have never heard of the gentle C-section, then after this quick episode, click on over to episode 113 and you can learn all about it. But essentially, it's a way that providers, if they offer it, can perform a C-section with certain regulations. They try to make it as close to a natural birth as possible. And there are specific ways that they can do things to make your experience a little bit more calming and more enjoyable, shall we say. So I had talked to her all about a gentle C-section, and I said, now listen, I know and I pray for you that you can have a natural birth. But just out of curiosity, ask your provider if the hospital that you're going to be giving birth at performs gentle C-sections. She went over and listened to episode 113, and then she talked to her provider. And guess what? They did do them. But that's not the best part. At the end of the day, her sweet little girl was way too busy dancing and having a party in her belly, and she did not flip. So guess what? She had to have a C-section. But because she had done her research, because she had asked and learned about a gentle C-section, she was able to have a little bit of control over the birth that she was going to have. So this is an example of drinking from the fire hose. It's that idea of taking in all the information about everything you can. So learning about C-sections, even if you plan to have a natural birth. Learning about formula feeding, even if you plan to breastfeed. Knowing what your preferences are and being ready for those things to change. Now, I want to tell you another really great tip. Back in episode 74, I interviewed Erin Moore all about formula feeding, and she gave this amazing tip. Even if you plan on breastfeeding, when you're pregnant, go out and pick out a formula that you're okay with. Now, I know that hospitals have formula, and I know that sometimes right now, of course, formula is not very easy to find. But if you're the type of mama that wants to know what's going to be given to your baby, maybe you want it to be organic, maybe you want it to have certain ingredients or not have certain ingredients, you can pick out that formula ahead of time and actually buy it, put it in your hospital bag. And then if you don't use it, you can donate it to a friend who might need it. But that way you have something that's already approved by you. So I encourage you, as you go through your pregnancy or you prepare for a future pregnancy like me, drink from the fire hose. Take in all the information that you can and then sift through what works for you. This is also a really great time if you have a partner to chat with your partner about what you both would prefer to have. What are your preferences? What are your styles of parenting? What type of things do you want to include or don't want to include? This is the time to take it all in. And just because you have your preferences, be open to the fact that things might go a different way. I know that this time is overwhelming, but this tip can really help you feel grounded. I want to also make sure that you know that our Facebook community, Mamas in Training, can also help you feel grounded and supported. And if you're not in that, well then join it today. What are you waiting for? All you have to do is click on the link in the show notes and be welcomed in today. So there you go. Go off and drink from the fire hose. Join us in Mamas in Training, and remember, we're in this together. If you enjoyed the show today, new episodes release every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so you don't miss an episode. And help us grow our mama community by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. That way I know how to better serve you. And finally, I would love to connect on Instagram. You can find me at Mamas in Training Pod. That's MAMAS in Training POD. For Mamas in Training, I'm Jessica Lorian. We're in this together.